All right. So in our last class, that's yesterday, we spoke about how we can use grid to design our applications, and it's grid is a very functional way to be able to align all our elements so that all our elements is going to look arranged. And whenever we are designing for either mobile or websites, and people come to our our design or try to interact with our applications, they tend to have a visual balance, and a way of trying to achieve that is by using grid. So in our today's class, we are going to, okay, before I even start for today's class, I mentioned I think about three types of um different types of layouts, if I'm not mistaken. I mentioned different types of layouts. Let me try to refresh our memory on it. So on the different types of grid, and on the different types of grid, I mentioned we have the fixed, the fluid, and the responsive. So please, can you type your question? Can you comment on it? Can you comment? So for the fixed, is going to always be um is always going to be constant across all devices. So once you have selected that you want to use 20 amounts of grid, for example, on your website, it's always going to be 20, even on a tablet or on a mobile phone. That is what fixed type of grid is. Then for fluid is, it's the grids that try to resize according to the type of device that you are using. So for responsive, it's rearranges, and that is what our assignment will be based on today. So for today, in order for us to kind of see how we can use um the grid in our design, for the past few weeks we've been trying to um design different mobile applications. Like we've designed, say, dashboard, or we designed login screen. Even our assignments was based on designing a particular mobile application. So for today, we'll try to lay our hands on designing a web application, like a website, so that we can also see how we can, like, so that we don't just stick to designing only mobile. We can try also in designing websites, and then we can see how the process is like. Because through our career, we're not going to be designing for only one type of device. You can be called upon, like any time, to design for any device and for any application. So today, um we will try to also replicate a particular design. For the class, we will not have enough time to start designing from scratch, like to start designing from our head. So that is why I'm using the approach of replicating an existing design. So that is what we're also going to be doing for today. So I've already searched on um different screenshots on Dribble to get a particular design that we can replicate for today's class. So for that design we're going to replicate, we're going to be using the column grid to design it. So remember, in our last assignment, I told us to use textiles. So in this next assignment, we are going to not just use textiles, we're also going to use grid. So these are the things I'm going to be checking in our assignments. So like I said, for different screen sizes, it's there are different amounts of grids that you're supposed to use. And you might not get to know it from your head. And that is why you can just leverage on the principles that have already been laid down for designers to follow. So this material design website is a website that you can always just go to if you are trying to look for a recommended way of designing your application, you can just go to this material design website and then you pick the particular thing you are trying to find, and you can get the recommended requirements. So for this layout, since we're talking about layouts, so you can see this responsive column grid, and it's showing for different screen size what the margin should be and what the body should be and the layout columns. So since we are designing for a website today, this is where we are going to focus on this one here. So large desktop, this is 140 pixel, it should be fluid, and so we'll just go to our Figma board. So like I said, we are going to design for a website. So on this part, this is for phone. We want to pick for a desktop. So select on the desktop, and then we have different options there. So let's just pick this desktop screen, which is 140 width, and the height is 1024. So we can still alter this height because like websites you can scroll, so we can alter this height to make it a little bit longer, while the width is always the width. So for this particular one, the width of this one is 1400. So we'll go to the material design and get what the amount of columns we are supposed to use. So here they're saying 12. So our columns is going to be 12, and then the margin is going to be fluid. So if we want to create our layouts on this side, like I showed yesterday, you click on this layout grid, and then you select the option of columns because you want to use columns and not rows. So you select the option of columns, and just like what was said on here, they said the columns have to be 12. So since it's for a desktop, so we have to have more number of columns, and we are going to pick 12. So, and they also said the type has to be stretch, fluid. So the fluid also means stretch. So we are also going to pick stretch and not all these other ones. This other one does not mean that it's going to be fluid. So stretch means that this is going to be fluid, because once you are changing the size of the screen, it's going to be adjusting according to the size of the screen. So that is what fluid means. So let's try to create some kind of margin so that all our content is not going to start on these edges. It's going to be at least at the start at a particular distance from the edge of the frame. So we are going to use, say, 120, for example. And our gutter, okay, we can just increase this gutter to like 24. Okay. So now we've created this the we've created the column that we are going to be using to design our websites. And the website that I want us to replicate is this particular one. I wanted us to design a shopping cart, but on a second thought, I just felt like, okay, we can still design a landing page. It's not bad for us to design a landing page, and that is why I want us to replicate this particular design. So let's start by, let me duplicate it first. So we will start by the header. Like on a page, they are basically three sections on a page. We have the header. So this is like, this section here is the header. So this section here is the header. Then this other one here will be the body. And then the one below is the footer. So some of us must have known these terms before. So for every website, we always have the header, the body, and the footer. So for this first one, the header is this. Okay. Let's just try to use any fonts. All these fonts, I designed it for mobile, so it might not really work for this one. But let's just try. So their logo is, I don't know. You can still use any logo. Um, okay. I don't like this logo. Are you sure we'll not steal logo from online? Anyway, let this just be here for now. So while we are trying to place the logo, we are going to put on our our column that we've created, so that is going to align on this left side. Then we can start by creating, all this is what we call the nav. This is like this top side is the header. So in this header, you can have different links that can link to different pages, just like where you have on a website, and then on your nav you can have your help, your support, and those different pages linked to your home page. So this is what this header is also doing, is linking other pages to this particular home page. So we'll put in our different links that we have for this particular, we are going to place it like this. So on the next one, so like I said initially, like you don't have to go this far because you want to create your next your next page link. Because all these are grouped together, you have to bring it closer so that it's, we call it proximity in design. So when your elements are kind of related, you have to group them together so that the user can easily relate that, okay, this set of elements that are together are supposed to be, um they are kind of performing the same functionality. So that's the essence of grouping your elements together. So instead of doing this thing, I know we've spoken about creating an auto layout so that we can easily duplicate. So you create this first one to be frame, and then select your two frame and make them an auto layout. So use auto layout so that when we are duplicating each of them, it will just be on the same, distance. You don't have to continue resizing each of them. So this is contacts. All right. So you have created for this. Then we have our person icon and chat icon. So where will I get my icons from? Let me just get from my personal, instead of going online to start searching for. So like I said, if we want to also get icons, we can go to our our resources on Figma, and then you search for a design system. So from that design system, you can now pick icons that you would love to use. So this is not exactly, but let's pick it because I'm trying to save time. So let us pick it. So we copy it and then we place it here. So the next one is a cat icon. So we'll have a cat. So look for icons can be very frustrating because you have to, okay, you have to search. So you copy and then you paste. So I think this icon is a little bit large. Let's make it 20. and then let it okay. All right. Okay, this one has a circle around it. So let's create a circle and then put so we bring it to front so that we can see the icon on top. Okay. So since it's now on top, we can now bring it up. And let's say we want to reduce it to like 30. Then make this one. So like I said, if you want to reduce your elements to be in proportion, you have to click on K on your keyboard to make it in proportion. So for this, so let's just try to pick a color. I don't know. Any color will be our ground color, our band color during the course of this. All right. Let me be sure that this is an edge. All right. So we have done this, the header part. It's a very simple header. So we've done it. So on this next one, the main title of the page and the subtitle. So I have created the styles before this class. I don't know why I forgot. This is looking too bold. Um, okay, this one is better. All right, so this is going to be aligned on this left side. Then the subtitle. Did I am I using L'Oreal for this thing? I don't have the plugin because I cannot be typing this thing up and down. Anyway, this is really the only thing I'll type. Every other one, I won't type it. But there's a plugin that you can use to generate like auto. Let me even search for this plugin. You can use to generate auto text. I don't have it. Let me see. It's my option. Yeah, yeah. Loading, loading. Why is still loading? Okay. How does this thing work? Say, ah, come on. Okay. I think You can just work with this one. So many errors, but we don't have. All right. So for this particular one, so we're not going to work with those. Just this column one is enough for us to design this particular page. So for this first one, we'll try to work on this line height. So I'm going to use 140% as my line height. Then this um this text, let's make it a little bit darker. This is black. All right. So for this other part, this is a button. It's a shop now button. So while we are creating our button, we are going to use the frame type of, instead of creating the rectangle and then creating the text, we'll just put it in a frame and then we style that frame. So once you select the dark text and then make it a frame, then you now come to this your layout, and then you can use auto layouts so that you can increase the width. Okay, let us fill it. Let us fill it in so that you can see what we are doing. Let's fill it in with this our brown color. So we increase the width, increase the height, and make it say, let's use 8 radius. So this is okay. So this will be our primary button, and our secondary button, duplicate it, and then we can now make the to be something like this color. What does it show you? So for this other picture we have here, we need to draw a rectangle to be able to make that picture. So we can start from here to extend from here this way. You can see how we are trying to combine different columns of different grid together to form. You can see how you are trying to combine different grid together to form a module. But this is not entirely aligned, so you can make it to align. So let's go and look for a picture to put on this rectangle. Yeah. And to look for pictures, we can go to, there are so many of them. You can go to Freakpic, Pixels, on Splash. So since this is about furniture, let's just search for furniture. Okay. I think I like this one. Copy. And then you paste it. So we are trying to make this section and this section to be aligned horizontally. So we can group this one. We select and group selection. Then we select all this frame and click on align vertical. So it's now vertical. So we are done with this hero section. Hope you guys remember what a hero section is. So hero section is just this section that a user will tend to see before they scroll down. So we are done with this part. So let us go to the next part. I will just duplicate. And then let's take this one away. So let's align these two texts bottom to the bottom. Like so this particular, this one is align bottom. So we'll make it to the bottom. But I think it's slightly down. Then if you want to select an element that is inside a group and then you don't want to select the entire group, you have to hold down Control and then you select that element. So that's the same thing I'm doing here. So you hold down your Control and then you select the element. So if you have also noticed, I've been using a 4 deep or 8, like all my spacings between an element are always a multiple of 4 or a multiple of 8. So you can see this particular one, for example, I made it 56 because I just like my element to be spaced in multiples of 4, in multiples of 8. So for this first one, let's change just this header title. We're going to leave this one. Then on this part, this is not like entirely like it's kind of different. It has a full radius, right? The initial one has a slight um radius. So we'll now increase the radius to be more. That's like this. And then let's change it. Let's change the title now. This will dining share. So this one too, we'll also change it. And then we'll duplicate. Okay, so duplicate. We are going to also use this approach of creating an auto layout. So this is a frame and this is a frame. So we select the two frames and then you go to this layout and click on auto layout. And you click on auto layout. So right now it's on auto layout. So once you duplicate one, let's go again. I think there was one on there. Okay. So you click on auto layout. So that once you duplicate one, it's going to be on the same distance with the rest of them. So this one is for bed. This one is for kitchen. This one is for shelves. So this working with columns can be very, very, I don't know, can be very, very, can be blocking your view. So at some point you can still um try to remove how it's looking. Like you can try to make it invisible so that it doesn't block you from seeing what you want to see. So for this next one, these are like displays of different chairs. So we have to draw different rectangles. So let us put on our to draw different rectangles. For this first one, we'll start from here and end here. So let's duplicate. We'll start from the next one. Okay, it just fits perfectly. All right. So let us look for images that we can use to display our different collection of chairs we have for sale. So we go to our free pick. Then we have, yeah, I like this one. So let's copy it. Copy the image. So there are some images that actually comes with where you can remove the background. But I think to remove the background on this pic is paid. So there's a plugin on Figma that if you can use to remove this background. So it's called remove PG. So let us try to remove this particular background image. This particular image background. So it has removed it. So let us try to crop it. When when you click on this fill option, and then on this part it's showing fill fit crop. So we are trying to crop our image to remove the extra spacing around it. So we click the crop option. Okay, it's okay like this. Let's bring it in. Let's try to resize it to fit into our display of chairs. So we've done this first one. We can select our two frames, and then here is showing align horizontal, and here is showing align vertical, so that this chair is going to be sitting at exactly at the middle of the box. So we can change all this background color. Let me double check. So this is our first chair. Let's look for another chair again that we can use to, where is this one? We'll paste here, and then we go through the same process of removing the background, so that chair is just going to be just the chair. So we also crop it. So once you click on this image here, and then you select the option of crop to remove the extra spacing, so that the same way you also crop your images. Okay, so there are two chairs here. Let us try to separate them. You can even sample both of them, but let's try to take it one at a time. Let's take this first one first. All right. Then we scale it so that it can be in line. And let's take the second one. So that you don't have to start looking for another chair again. So you just place it also. Then you select your two elements to make it align. Yeah. Select this two up there. Yes, align it. Okay. So let's look for our last chair. Where is this one? All right. Hope you guys are following. So you can see that to create just one single page is taking us too much time. It's not so easy like that. But it's for the money, abi for the it's for the what do you guys used to say? Is the love of it. So this is our fourth chair. Let me just try and be fast so that we don't spend time creating chairs. And I'm trying to reduce, is looking too long. I'm trying to see if I can reduce it a little bit. So it will be more balanced in the eye. Okay. It's paid. No, it's not paid though. You can install the plugin. Like I already have the plugin on my Figma. So if you don't have the plugin, you can once you click on plugins, you click on manage plugins and then you search for remove PNG. So like I already have it, so that is why it's not showing download. So once you download it, you can just be making use of it. This particular one is not paid. So we go to the next. So we go to the next option. Okay, there are still some things there. Save dimension. Let's first of all start with the labeling. Though there are so many ways you can do it. Like if you are using Canva also. Though for Canva, it's Canva's own is paid, but I like using Canva. So I'm just using this one because it's free. Because as you are starting, you have to be using free things first until when the time comes for you to start using paid stuff, you yourself you will know. Because as you start advancing in your career, you will have to be paying for some things. But for now, this particular plugin is just free, so you can make use of it. And then, even if it's be difficult for you to use some kind like this particular remove, you can be designing in such a way that you don't have to remove your background of your picture. You design website or design application that you have to use the background for your designs, so that it does not restrict you into trying to look for a way to pay for stuff when you are just starting. Or if you also have people that are advanced, you can tell them to help you do some stuff with their own profile. Like this on Splash, for example. Like even though on Splash is free, there are still some images that are paid. So if I want to get some kind images and I really need it, I just talk to some of my friends that already have it paid, and they will tend to download it for me and send to me. So that's also another way to go about stuff by design. So we are trying to create this safe. So let's make it a frame so that we can create the background around it. So you can just put it instead of making it to layout, since it's only one. So you increase the width. Okay, we need to make the auto layout because we need it at the center. So increase the width, and then we need to increase the width. Okay, let's increase the radius. Is it giving us the same vibe? So we can reduce it to like 14 and make it so this is better, I suppose. So another way of doing this, instead of you have already done it, you can also make here a component. And then those are the same way I made this place a component. You can make here a frame. So as I'm duplicating, It will just be spacing on its own. But since this all these things are different, let us just continue with this. So this is 12, 12. Let's duplicate it to fit into. So I think we are done with this section, I suppose. Then we move to the next one. We want to design this section. So let us draw our rectangle. This page is just about rectangles. Let's draw our rectangles. Our rectangle. And then so this one is so why this one is left aligned for this particular text is going to be right aligned. So just like I mentioned yesterday, so there are different instances where you will need to use left aligned and you need to use right aligned. So for this one, it's best to use right aligned. So it's going to fit more on for this particular instance. So I think I don't know if this one. Let's remove this one and just so you are going to align all the elements here to be right. So to do that, you can see this position section here. Then you can see this is left, center, and right. So we click on right so that all this will be aligned to the right. So let's look for another furniture that we can place here. So it is like a classroom furniture. Oh, are we going to get what we want? Um, classroom. So see this on the speed. So we don't want paid things in this class. We like free things. Ah, let me search for what kind of furniture? Wooden furniture. So one skill the designer is also good to have is search like and the abilities for you to be able to search for what you want. Because even if you want to use icons or you want to use illustrations or you want to use pictures, whatever you want to use, you have to have the ability or the patience to be able to search in the internet to get the exact thing that you want. Why am I in Shutterstock from Quick? Mm-hmm. I think this one is not bad. We're going this time. Let us just make use of this. Okay. All right, so we paste it and then we use our plugin to remove the background. So I think the next um, part, this is broken. Okay, I didn't even know the SSS. Let's copy it. Oh, I need to see what I'm doing. All right. So The last part, so you can see this side here. So I think once you are done with this section, we'll create our footer, and then we'll end the web page. That will be the end of it. So for this one, they extended it, so you can see where this you can see where the grid is starting from and where the grid is starting from. But you can also see that this screen, this rectangle is extending. When you now want to create your content will now have to sit on this grid. Bring to front. Your content will now have to sit on this grid so that it's going to look aligned. So that's one thing about design. Even if you are trying to um follow a particular guideline, it does not mean that you have to now stick all your head into it. That is why it's called creativity. You need to also know how to play around with some things. That your design is not going to be boring and it's just there, like as just expected. So then you created this text. You're going to just leave it like this. Then we want to create our next to place our image. So let us just start from here, and it's extending out. So you can see where the rectangle is starting from. It's starting from a particular way, but we want to now make it to extend out. So let's look for any picture that um, we can use that will be like, it'll be fine like this. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Um, which one is not bad? Just use it. We'll save time. So we paste it here. All right. It's okay. Then for our footer, like I said, we have to, but I think this one of them will have this. So we can create footer from our head. Okay, I have one here that we can follow to create. So by the end of this class, I don't know how I'm going to share this to everybody. By the end of this class, um, okay, let me hold on for that. So let us create a footer. But this is not really sitting. Before we create a footer, let's continue first. There are still some contents here. These other parts inspiring this. So let's create that part. So there are three rectangles here. One, two, three. One, two, three. So let's create our three rectangles. Let's play it and see what we've been designing. If it's even coming out fine. Okay. I don't know if my laptop is hanging because I have too many things open. So let me try to close down. Let me understand why it's hanging. All right, so we want to create this other part. Then we'll continue with the same way we've been creating our rectangles. So our radius all along we've been using 20 for our radius. So we'll stick to that 20 for the radius. Then we duplicate, and then let's create this one by the side. All right. So um let's look for pictures. We are trying to create this particular section on our design. So you can see different pictures here. So let's just look for pictures that we can place on our rectangles that we've created. This one is page. Any picture you see this icon here means that it's paid. So you just keep it and move to the next one. So let's paste this one here. That picture is too dark. Let's try this one. Mm. Since furniture has finished. Okay. So the pictures are just good. All right. There was one picture I saw that is going to form this very well. Let me try and look for that picture. This one, no. Um, our last picture. I've used this one before. Come on, come on, come on. This one is not sitting very well on the frame. Let's look for another picture that will just rhyme what we are doing. You can go to another website instead of dwelling on this place. Let's try pixels. All right. Ah, anyway, let's use this like that. So for this other one, there are some texts there, but I'm trying to ignore it. Anyway, let me just do it. Bring to front. In a group. So these things can happen. So if you notice what happened here, we duplicated this text from this group. So because it's still in a group, it's not be able to come up to on top of this picture. So we have to bring it out from the group and then now make it to come on top, bring to front. So so this is a very this is not usable. So let's it's not visible. So let's leave it out. Then this last part, I think is also in line with this. So let's duplicate and paste here. Then we also have our furniture. Okay. We are trying to do this. So I think this one should work for us. But that thing is showing. Okay. So let's use it. Remove background. You guys assignment is going to be a very interesting one. If you are going to create a mobile version of this website I'm building, but I cannot work with this. I want to just try and end this page so that it doesn't get too long. Once you are done with this one, that will be the end of it. All right. I think this one will work. Or even this one. Let's see this one. You want to use phone to work on Figma. Mhm. Thank you. Thank you for helping me answer the question. All right, cool. I won't end this like this. Will it be bad? I don't think so. So we can end this our page with this section, even though every page is supposed to have a footer. No, let's have a footer. Okay, so I'm now designing without even communicating. So you can see this line at the bottom. So I'm just trying to create it. But now I'm trying to create it. It might not really let's use a white and black chair instead. Instead of this orange chair. So that there's no so much. So we can use either line or rectangle. So let us just use rectangle and then rotate it. So this type of things they are not it's not compulsory to put. It's just a way of making a design so that it doesn't look too plain. So the same way we have been using um pictures and we also use illustrations in your design. It's just a way of trying to, you know, make your design to be like so that it's not going to be just be boring like that. So you now tend to add some things that will make it a little bit more interesting to look at. So that's the essence of, putting all these pictures and putting all these minor illustrations that you have here. So I'm trying to think of a way of submitting your assignment. Plain. How do you make it plain? Plain, plain. I'm not trying to understand. It's not looking. Let's forget about this. Let's create our own. This is not looking. All right. So from here to here, we made it 192. From here to here, from here to here. All right. I think of this thing played now. Ah, ah, why is it taking so long to play? It's the network that is doing. Why do I just feel like Let's create something. Let's create a simple data. I think they do this at corporate um, something something. All right. So I don't know why this has refused to allow us to play this our design. So we are done with creating a very simple web page with what we learned yesterday using our grid. Wow, I really this thing could play. What I've been trying to play since. Okay, so we are done creating, using our very the things that we learned yesterday to make a simple web page. So can you use Fig font to work on Figma? No, you can only view it on yes, you can only view it on mobile and phone. How did you make this rectangle clean? How did you make the rectangle clean? What rectangle? Please, can you put? And I'm not getting what rectangle. Then I saw one other question. Left the furniture outside. Okay, like I'm just following what was here. So you can see this furniture is outside. So that's why I just put my own outside. But if like, I can put the one inside. I can put it on top. Um. So do you have any questions, or do you understand? We are going to create this thing. So maybe that's it for me.
Yeah, ma, good evening, ma. Can you hear me, ma?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, I can hear you.
Good evening, ma.
I can hear you. Go on.
Can you hear me, ma? Okay, ma. On the first button you used, you said this was a primary button, so you used the frame. I don't know why you used the frame instead of a rectangle. Then number two, the grouping and the auto layouts, are they the same? Then also this alignment position, when are we to use center, when are we to use right, when are we to use left?
So let's start from the first one. The creating of buttons. So I decided to use this type of button so that it's so that if I'm trying to create my second button, you see that from this button I also created this second one. So it's much easier to work with frames and then auto layouts than creating your rectangles and your like it's even going to take more time when you're trying to draw your rectangle and then you're also trying to put detail on the rectangle and you're grouping it and all of those things. So that one is taking more time as against just using this particular frame and then coloring it to create your buttons and your navigations. So what's the second question again? Just can you remind me?
Yes, I was looking about the frame and the rectangle. Then I asked about auto.
Okay, yeah, auto layout. So the
Yes,
essence of
and
using
with
auto
alignment,
layouts
when do we use this
is
alignment positions?
Okay, yeah. So the essence of using auto layouts is still the same way of saving time. So just imagine us creating a rectangle, and then we are putting the square, a rectangle, and then we are putting the text, and then we now group it and duplicate it, and we are now like repeating that process all over again. But for this auto layout, it's just very easy. So once you've created two frames, and then there's a need for you to add another rectangle and a text, you just duplicate it, and it's just spacing according to how you have made it before. So you can see how this particular process is much easier than doing things manually. So this is like an automated process of creating reusable elements. So that's just like this same place that you have here now. You can also use here to be an auto layout. So once you've created this first one, you make it a frame, and then you now tend to start duplicating the frame. Since you are now trying to reuse this same layout again, you don't have to start creating it from scratch and taking through the long process of creating the rectangle and creating the text and creating the shape. So that is a longer process than just using an open layout to design. So for the left aligned and the layout, the center aligned of this thing. So you can see like if you notice text is on this left side, just like the way you like if you are writing on your Microsoft Word, and then if you are writing, most of the times you use left aligned. Yes. So text is on this left side, you can see that it is left aligned. All the whole texts you have here, even this one is supposed to be, you can also be right aligned if you want to use it that way. All these texts here you have is left aligned. Then while the text is on the right hand side, because it's on the right, is going to look, so it is not also a bad idea to even use left aligned too, but it is more organized when you use the right aligned. So you can see on this side too, it's right aligned. So and this whole layout thing is not what's the language? It's not a like you don't have to use a particular format or use a particular roadmap and say that this must be this. So that is why it's called creativity. You know the principles, yes, but you can tweak some things to add a little bit of creative stuff to your work. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
This thing does not want to play at all. Does anybody have any other question? Or you guys really understood how, like, every single thing that was done here? Raise their hand. Okay, please just unmute and speak.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, ma'am. So I want
Good
to
evening.
ask, what if I want to upload this picture? If I have a picture I want to use on my phone and on my device, how can I upload it while designing?
On your phone, you can use Bluetooth to send your picture from your phone to your laptop. Do you know how to send pictures from your phone to your laptop?
Okay, sorry. Let's put in like if the picture is already on my laptop, can I still upload?
Yes. So from
Yeah,
this,
how
you can
can
see um this shape tool here. This one is showing shape tools. So you click on shape tools, you can see this image. So when you click on it, it will give you the images that you have already on your laptop. So let's say, what image should I pick? Oh, I'm gonna pick image that I don't want to show. Okay. Let's say this particular one. Okay. Once you select the image, then you open it and then paste it on your you paste it on your Figma board. So did you get that? So say like you already have a rectangle, like the way we have been designing a rectangle. You've already you've already have a rectangle here. Okay, let me just paste it in this first one here. So let's go and get another image and see what image can we use. Image. Image on. Oh, recent. Okay, so you get your image and then you go to that rectangle that you've created before and you just click on it. So you now automatically paste in that rectangle. But if you want to resize this one to fit the rectangle, you can still resize it and then you work with what you have. Do you get?
Yes, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else raised their hand? Maureen, please let's hear from you.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
Good evening, ma. Okay, I want to ask a very funny question. I don't know, but when you were doing the layout grid and you use that stretch and when you were expanding the frame, like everything on the frame was like expanding, can we use it for a responsive design? Maybe you want to finish your design and you want to like make it, maybe change the frame to a mobile device. Can we like reduce the size and to just change everything?
Um, how will I answer the question? No,
I don't know, I'm just asking if it will work.
no.
Okay.
You have to. That's why it's for you to. That's why it's called responsive. The responsive grid is you are trying to rearrange your. You are trying to rearrange your because if for example you want to resize this thing now and then you are reducing it to be like this, so you are seeing that the rearranging of your elements is not there. Like even if it wants to reduce, I don't know why this thing is not reducing. But like even if you want to reduce all these your elements is going to stretch like it's going to squeeze into the into a mobile screen, and that experience is not going to be good for your users. So that's the essence of using a responsive design, so that you can rearrange your elements to fit a particular screen size. Maybe you want to come and start reducing the size, and then you want all your elements to still be in the same arrangement, even for a mobile. Like in the olden days when we are using a web page, there's sometimes that we scroll left and right. So those are in the olden days. Now you cannot find a website that you have to be scrolling. There could be still be social that you have to be scrolling left and right. It's only from top to bottom. So that's the essence of using a responsive design to design your applications. So
All right. Thank you.
Good evening. I have a
yeah, good
question.
evening.
Okay,
Okay.
I don't know, anytime I'm designing, if I'm trying to like extend the length of the screen, it's everything is always shifting, like scattering. Because I don't know, when I was watching you extend the length of the screen that you
Yeah.
just did, it was still arranged, but mine keeps scattering.
Yeah. So um you are using Windows Abi. So you have to hold down. Ah, can somebody help me? You have to hold down. Is it control?
Control
Because for my
key.
back, yes. So once you hold down control and then you are increasing it or reducing it, it's not going to affect the elements inside it. But let's try to see how it will be if you don't hold down this control. Is that what happening now? For some instances, it's going to increase. So to be on the safer side, you just hold down your control key, your control on your keyboard, and then you expand your frame so that the elements inside is not going to scatter. Esther, let's hear from you.
All right, good evening, ma. I just wanted to ask, how did you remove the background from the images?
Why is this not open?
Ma, can
Who
you
is
hear me?
speaking? Yeah, I can hear you now.
Is okay. I said I just wanted to find out how you remove the background from the images.
How I move the background. So I used a plugin. So the plugin is remove background. So let's try to remove um this particular image background. So you click on you click on the you click on the image you want to remove, and then you right click. So you go to plugins. So if you don't already have it, you click on manage plugins, and then you search for remove BG, that's remove background. So since I have it already, I'll just click on one. So you can see that the background has removed.
Okay, okay. So you just have to download it in the plugin.
Yes.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
All right. Please, when you speak, lower your hand so that I'll know who is left. Oh. Who wants to go? Just unmute and speak. I don't know who has not spoken and who is yet to speak.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
So there's something I used to say, like, from what you said about responsive design, you were like, we don't scroll sideways again, and we scroll like from top to bottom. So that means that when you use that 1440 by 1040, you're not meant to stretch it sideways anymore. Because sometimes when I'm doing some designs, like the space is not enough. I don't know, I have to stretch it sideways. So I don't know if it will still fit into, like, because when I do that, it changes the dimensions, and I don't know, it doesn't. There was a video I tried to play. When I played it in the, like, after you finish prototyping and you're playing, you want to present your work. When I played it on, and I used a an Apple laptop to as my device that I wanted it to play inside, and it didn't work. The thing, it worked, but it was like my design was bigger than the screen of the device. But when I played it just like normal presentation on the Figma workspace, it came out fully. So does that mean we shouldn't be dragging it sideways?
Yes. So that's the essence of designing for different screens. So for laptop, say you want to design for laptop and you want to pick a laptop, and if you are picking desktop, which is 1440, and then there are instances where you will need a wider screen to make your design. Say you want to design like a dashboard of a web application, you need a wider screen. So instead of you to be altering this desktop, look for a frame that is wider. But this desktop is 1440. So you can use for Mac, which is 1728 or 1512, or a one that is a little bit wider. So you can see this one is wider than this first one.
Yeah.
I can also still pick one that is also even so wide. So this is
Okay.
like a customized size that you can use. And mind you, like once you are designing, you have to take notice of your audience. Who are you presenting your work to? So there
Okay.
are people that you'll be working with, some developers that you'll be working with, for example, and they will tell you that they want you to do designs in this size. They want your designs to be in desktop. And there are some that they will tell you that they want their designs to be on this frame as wide as this. So
Okay.
depending on the people that you are designing for, and who you are and how you are present and the screen you are using to present, you have to now pick that frame of the screen that you are using to present, so that it's not going to be so nice when you are present and then you are swiping left and right to show your designs. It's not going
Okay.
to good. It's always when you want to scroll from top to bottom.
Okay. So that I think that what it has to do with how I manage my space within the um within
Frame.
within the frame, because I think I probably use bigger sizes of text.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. Ma.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So this issue about this whole trying to adjust screens and the rest that Joanne talked about. I thought that was the essence of responsive designs. Like it's going to like respond. The design is going to respond according to the type of screens that you have, like either tablet or laptop, MacBook, or desktop. I thought that was
Yeah, so are you done speaking or you're still saying something?
no, I'm done.
Okay. So like this whole responsive design, it doesn't even end with us. It ends with front-end developers. And that is even they're the ones that even have the higher power to make our applications very responsive. Our work is just to make their work very easy for them. So that is the essence of us our trying to design our websites in either desktop or mobile. So when we are trying to design for a website, for example, we can so you can see on this frame here for this desktop, for example. Okay, let me just use this one I've created. For this first desktop, you can see that the width of this one is different from the width of this one, and it's not the same with the width of this one. So it's not possible for us to start designing for each of these um desktop frames, because if we want to do that, that means when we come to phones, we'll design for all these type of phones that we have here. So you can have like we have like say 14 types of phone. That means that's designed for all these whole 14 types of phones. And then desktop is designed for all the whole 6 types of desktop. So the best way for us to help the developers is for us to pick a particular frame from a section and design how our elements will is going to look on that particular frame. So on this frame, we have for phone. If you want to design for phone, you can just pick only one screen for that phone, because the difference between phone one and phone two, they are slightly different. So most of the times you can work with somebody and they will tell you that they want an Android phone. Just give them Android for this, or just give them for an Android design, and then they will know how to make it responsive for the other phones that users might use, because they've already gotten the layout of how you want to arrange the different elements. So once you design for only just one particular phone type, they can work with that layout and replicate it for the other devices that their users are also going to be using. So the same thing with desktop. You cannot design for all the whole desktop types. You can just pick only one. So depending on what you are designing for and who you are designing for, depending on the team they are designing with, because I've worked with a team where they will tell you that they want the biggest screen size, that's the MacBook Pro, and so will tell you that they want desktop. Just give them desktop, and they will know how to make it responsive for all type of laptops that we have in the world. So it's not entirely our duty like that to make an application responsive. We're just trying to make the developers work very easy for them. So it now boils down to we when you're trying to make a presentation and then you want to use a particular screen, you have to display it in such a way that it is not going to move from left to right, so that it will not give a wrong impression that this application is not going to be responsive. Do you understand what I'm saying? Did I answer
Yeah,
your
that's
question?
correct. Yes.
I've been trying to play this thing. I don't know why it's not playing. It's so unfortunate. Um, will there be a class on responsive design? What have you been doing since? We had a class yesterday on layouts, and I touched briefly on how a responsive design is, and even that is even going to be the assignment. Would you close and open the Figma app? I think this Figma app is scary. The last time I tried it on this call, it's difficult. It's very difficult for it to open again. Is it the same person? Yes. Can we share other tasks with them out of assignment for the taught in class? I mean, align to it by the welcome page or the one for combining colors. Um, from using constraints to make our assignments. That was not an assignment now. That was like a personal this particular task that you want to share with me. It wasn't an assignment. It was like a personal development stuff. But if you want me to view it, tag me. Like I don't know if I've showed us how to tag. So just if I've come to your file already, just tag me to it. And in my spare time, I would come and check. So like this. So just tag me to it. You can come and see it. For using, I'm trying to understand using responsive design. So are there any other questions? I'll answer this responsive design. We are good to go, right? On this our simple homepage. We are good to go. All right. So for our assignment for today, we are going to work in groups because from our last assignment, I noticed that some people are really experts. Yeah. So it will be good for us to be working in groups so that we can be teaching ourselves. And so our assignment, we are going to be create this same web page, but for a mobile design, for a mobile app. So just imagine that your user is trying to view this particular website, and then they are viewing it on their mobile phones. So you are going to be create this for a mobile screen. That is the responsive design that somebody was asking. So by designing on a mobile, I've showed you guys an example. I've showed you guys an example before. Let's hope and see when this one will open. Of when I designed a web page and then I replicated it on a mobile app. So for tip, you just your whole idea is just trying to rearrange this elements for it to fit well on a mobile screen. So, but you're also going to use your grid. So just the same way we use grid on this mobile, we're also going to use this for our on this web page. I'm going to use this for our mobile. So let me see if I can see that website where I've showed you guys before. So you can see just for one you can see just for one application, you can see the amounts of screens that are here. So this particular one now, so it's still like almost the same header we have. So you can see on this side we have text here, and then we have card, and then we come to the mobile. We are seeing the text is now on top, and then the card is down below. So that's the same concept we're also going to use. So this one too, you can see how this network is allowing this thing to load. You can see how all these cards were lined up from left to right, but on the mobile is from top to bottom. That's how all the whole cards were aligned. So that's the same concept we are also going to use for this our website, just to rearrange it for a mobile screen. And then I don't know how we communicate in our groups. So each group is going to create a simple mobile screen where you replicate this particular design. But my problem is how I'm going to share it to everybody. I can only share a screenshot. I hope a screenshot will do. So, but working with the elements will not be difficult. That's the problem. Working with the
Oh,
elements is difficult.
You
sorry.
you can save and
Is it
export
possible?
to the group. You can export as a picture into our Telegram group.
That's what I'm saying. If I should post it as a picture, you will not be able to make use. You don't have
Okay,
to.
I have a suggestion. More like you post the link for us, then we just have to duplicate the file from there.
Okay, let me see if this link is open. Um, Let me create a new file. So I'll now paste the link on the group chats. All right.
Yes, and we'll duplicate it.
So like, do you guys have a group chat for each group?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys should just work together and then come up with. It's not going to like it's not a difficult task. Trust me. So just work together and we create this. So I'm pasting it so that I don't have to worry about looking for images or looking for trying to remove the background and all of those things. Your assignment is just to rearrange it so that it will work well for a mobile. That is just the assignment. Don't worry about trying to look for more images to paste here. Just rearrange this to fit for a mobile screen. This is still loading. I'm sure by the time I leave this class, it's going to load completely. So that means I'm going to share this particular. When I put edit, move this project draft, but we will not be able to edit sure, just to duplicate. Um, and if we should try to follow instructions, oh, try to follow instructions. If you didn't get the assignments, ask yourselves. Uh, or you will have a cost rep. Let me share this link to the cost rep. The cost rep will paste it for you. Why am I even worrying myself? The cost rep will paste it for you guys. Abby, that solves the problem. So what you just do is to duplicate the file, and then you work as a group. By next week Wednesday, that is going to be, you guys will just come and bust my brains in what people do and why you actually place your element like that instead of this one I have done here. So just design for a mobile screen and rearrange everything. So we have like 11 groups or so. So 11 persons should come and present their work by next week Wednesday. Is that fine? Yes, I'm share this file with the cost rep. It's not necessary our design to be responsible for design. It's necessary. It's not necessary our design to be responsive after design. Yes, it's necessary. You have to make your design to be responsive. It's, are you trying to say something? Okay, I think with this we have come to the end of the class. See you guys next week. Good night, ladies, and happy